Welcome everybody. The subject that I have picked today is history of universe. And this history of universe it just goes far, far behind billions of years. This could only explain in two waves of explanation. One is the scientific findings and their data accordingly. This is how the universe has begun, and human beings and all the other existing living creatures are coming to play in this universe. Human beings, well, there is the second method is to get to know about this universe, history of the universe, and history of mankind and other beings. Could be by way of religious teaching. When you take the religious teaching, you can't divide the religions like Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about religion as a whole. What the religious perspective, how this universe has begun and how it's functioning. So we'll just keep the second part away from this. It's so typical. We'll take the scientific perspective, how the universe began and how it's working and how it's existing now. So just I'm going to give you a brief account, not in details. It's going to take days, months to finish this. So if you take the scientific factors, says that this universe begins at about 13.7 billion years before. Just before the universe, just before time is born, there was nothing in this heavens and the earth. There was nothing. It was empty like a vacuum. Nothing, no light, no matters, nothing. Then suddenly something happened in staggering speed, an explosion. So they say about Big Bang, and they say about it begin with a tiny, smaller than atom, just with a staggering speed expanding. All these things in the universe existed was inside this atom, and this got exploded. And in terms of nuclear technology, this nuclear type of explosion. And so since then, the time started. So this explosion as was expanding, this is like a marsh. There are no structures. There was nothing. All helium and lithium atoms filled with. And since the time of the explosion, 380 years. 380 years since the explosion. The complete this marsh, huge marsh, was expanding with staggering speed, and there was no structure, there was no matters, only the helium and lithium atoms. And what was there to make this 380 years, what has happened to this after this explosion is in the physical science say the second, it is ruled by the second law of physics, the law of entropy. So this works as per that law. The science has discovered this works for that law, according to that law. Then after 308 years since then, this helium, lithium was expanding and were gathering due to gravity. Gravity also just come along with the explosion. This gravity make this all together in one place, and while scattering and expanding, the gravity also holding them. Then since then, this 200 million years after this explosion, this due to the gravity and the hydrogen, helium, lithium available in the environment made these structures to form. Is the first star born in 200 million years from the first explosion. This is all full of stars. When these big stars, when they die, also this generate gravity and explosion. This explode. So this process was going on, and nearly we just come back to an important event which took place. Now, this and the planet Earth and the sun that which gives us light, the moon and all observables are 5 billion years old comparing to the time that first explosion has taken place. This is 7.5 billion after that. It started 13.7 billion, and I am talking now about 5 billion years. Our planet, the solar system, formed. It has taken so much of time, 13.7 billion years, and this is 5 billion, that is 8.5 billion years for this solar system to form. This was going through various processes, helium, lithium, atoms bind together, and big matters like the planets, the moons, the stars, all form. And now we are in 3.5 billion years, 4.5 to 5 billion years before the age of this planet Earth and the moon and everything that what we can observe. So from that time, millions of years, this process was going on. We could say simply in I think it's too early to use the word. This is evolution. Actually, the evolution is taking place, changes. Every day things change. Traveling, becoming complex. Daily this is becoming complex. Complexity. Can this complexity create? It does. Certainly does. And so I don't want to make boring for you. I'll just try to finish it faster. So now this 30 then this millions of billions of years come through this process of evolution. And this complexity made, sometimes created a single cell organism. From that, single cells become multiple cells and become plants, and from that, animal. The whole universe, this planet Earth, was getting enriched by this staggering complexity. Now we go where we found that how the situation on this planet Earth. Now you know the period times I have told you, 13.7 billion years, 5 billion years for this, and all this. Now we are in somewhere 62 billion years, 62 million, I beg your pardon, 62 million years. This planet Earth was a beautiful place, greenery, water flows, rivers, animals, and planet Earth was dominated by dinosaurs. They were the dominant animal, huge animal, a dominant creature. So many millions of living creatures, plants, everywhere, water, rivers, the big ocean, everything. Then this unfortunate incident for Homo sapiens to get wiped out. Something happened. An asteroid fell on the surface of the earth, a huge one, massive one. This impact has made the dinosaurs completely get wiped out. Not only dinosaurs, so many other creatures, so many other planets, everything got destroyed. 85 to 90% of the living organisms, living creatures, animals, trees, all got destroyed. Then begin the way for our mammalian ancestors. This incident could be explained in a separate video what happened when the asteroid hit the earth. So we are not going into that, we are just skipping and coming. Or then how the mammalian got into this. So once this got wiped out, and it took about 1 year, 2 year back, since then, for the sun's light to fall into the earth's surface. It was covered with smoke and dust, and it was there for about 1 year. The reason why all these creatures died, all these creatures got destroyed. Then come an opportunity, due to this complexity, there was some few plants, few things were left which could resist against this nuclear type of explosion. And from that, again, the evolution starts. Complexity started building and becoming stronger, and got way for our mammalians and so many other creatures, reptiles and stuff like that, and the Homo sapien. This is estimated something around 200,000 years. The first man walked on the planet Earth. Yes, in religious perspective also, when you do a proper analysis of all these religions, what they have said about the beginning of this universe, and we'll also come somewhere very close to that time of 200,000, the first man walked on earth. Then, since then, the population on the earth was increasing. A man, this Homo sapien to man, the evolution. You can imagine how this Homo sapiens, the chimpanzee, the one before according to Darwin's theory, the evolution. The first man, how he would have lived. Would have lived in caves and no communities, just objectives only. So anyway, this species, the species which is come from Homo sapien and to human, has a special, there's a special distinguished curtain between this animal kingdom and this human beings. There is one thing separating them. That is the intellect, the intelligence, the observation and reflecting upon it, asking questions. All these things happen. Then, because of this observation and the intellect, this species, human beings, are developed 77,000 years from now. The languages started establishing words and writing, and just it was 77,000 years before. Then further we come. Then this is got spread all around the planet Earth, and they were becoming rich in eloquence, the rich in pen, writing, and that was the time we can come up to the agricultural revolution 10,000 years before, from now. So there man started thinking, and he thinks this looking around all this existence, he thinks there has to be a beginning. There has to be a beginning, first cause, and the physical law says again, the physical the beginning, and there is something is holding them, following them. There is the law of science, the physical law, the natural law is being maintained, and this law are conducive to mankind's spreading. So since then, now if you come the current position where we are now. Now this is, human beings have completely dominated the earth planet. And a time back, as I told you, the religions got introduced. It has to, otherwise man wouldn't have got more knowledge. Oh yes, this is what it says. Then you go and observe and reflect and do research and stuff like that. Then now the position is, we are in a planet where all these 6.5 to 7.5 billion are connected. Connected by what? Connected by a means of communication, internet, trading, business. This species, this humankind, has developed and started using the materials to his satisfaction. Materials is already existing. So it is very complex story, but I made it very simple for the viewers to not to get boring, especially people who has interest in this field to know about, explore, or just to know about the beginning of the universe. The other way of knowing this is the religious perspective. That is also very interesting, but it is like something that one is not undermining, or one is not overtaking the other is overtaking the other. It's not like that. It is also, if you take all these existing leading religions like Christianity and Buddhism and Hinduism and Judaism, Islam, and all these religions, if you take the nonsense out and take collectively, it's a message for mankind that this is how it begins, this is how it go, and this is where I'm going to go. For science, there's no way of finding out how we're going to go. So actually, I would like to do a video on this video is history of mankind and the beginning of the universe, and the next video that I'm going to do is how the future lies for this advanced species of human beings. What is going to be the future now? The population is 7 billion. They are established. They have conquered the space, aircrafts, ships, motor vehicles, buildings, electronic, digital. Everything is there. But from here, where are we going to go? What the science says and what the religious perspective. We see that too with comparison in one video. Now that will give you a very good understanding about where we are going to go from here. I think my time is expiring. I just want to finish the video in 20 minutes. It's more than 22 minutes. So excuse me for this. Actually, I explain what I come to explain. I don't know whether I put it in order or not. Well, if you have further want to know about it, please do not hesitate to contact me on my number, which is given below, and my WhatsApp, my social medias, and email, SMS. So your question, your queries will be attended with great interest, and will be replied also. And so until I see you in the next video, bye bye.